Let's check up. Let's check up. Pull up a chair for the Midweek Checkup now.
Welcome to the Midweek Checkup. My name is Lindsey Blair and my colleague is Gilles. This past Sunday, Pastor Travis McGowen preached from Mark 12, verses 13 through 17.
Travis said that our conflicts show us that we need God's help. But if you missed the sermon or need help remembering, you're in the right place because it's time for the Midweek Checkup.
Travis began by saying that we all sin, which is why we need Jesus to save us. But though the guilt of our sin has been removed, we still face ongoing conflicts, and some of them are too great for us to deal with. Again, the solution to our conflicts is Jesus. There are 3 ways that our conflict shows us that we need God's help. First, because some of our conflict follows us for years.
In Mark 12, we see the conflict between Jesus and the religious leaders, which had been going on since the beginning of Jesus' ministry over 3 years before. Some conflicts build over time, and we can't predict when they will end. This is why, when we're caring for those in conflict, we must give them our presence, not our predictions. Presence expressed through listening and praying for them.
Conflict also shows us that we need God's help because they highlight the temptations that surround us. The religious leaders were trying to trap Jesus into a question about taxes. They were trying to set him up by tempting him to say something that puts him at odds with either the crowds or the Romans. Whoever his opponent would become, they didn't care. They wanted him dead. But Jesus did not fall into their trap.
As we are traveling through this section in Mark, notice how few words the Lord says to his opponents. He has much to say to those who love him. He has little to say to those who want to kill him. Let us ask God to help us discern when we need to speak. A wise Christian knows they are surrounded by occasions when their pride or fear leads them to say too much.
Finally, conflict shows us that we need God's help because conflict shows the tensions we must maintain. Jesus shows us wisdom by maintaining 2 tensions in life. Fulfill the obligation to Caesar, give him what is his, and fulfill your obligations to God at the same time. He doesn't fall for the either-or trap, but he says there are 2 things that have to be maintained. He demonstrates his wisdom by highlighting the tensions that are present in God's world.
As a Christian, you have an obligation to speak the truth, but you also have an obligation to extend love to another person. Truth by nature divides, and love by nature unites. We have an obligation to maintain the tension of truth and unity. Truth divides, unity unites. You won't be able to maintain any tensions on your own. You will need to look outside of yourself to a God who holds all tensions and all conflicts together.
This Sunday, we will continue our series, Journey into the Night from the Gospel of Mark. And in Bible Fellowship, we'll continue discussing the first epistle of John. Join us and bring a friend.